Hey, what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to what is potentially the final part of my E3 2015 prediction series. In the past couple episodes, I talked about Sony and Microsoft in great length. And if you guys want me to talk about anything else related to the E3 show, post them down below in the comment section and I'll make sure to do a video on them. So for this video, what is potentially the last one, I want to talk to you guys about Nintendo. Now, I'm just going to get this out there. I have had no qualms with expressing my concern over some of the things Nintendo has been doing in the past couple of years. My Facebook and Twitter posts, if you guys follow me on there, are pretty much evidence of that. Now, before we get into it, I do want to, preface this video with this. Guys, nobody is saying that Nintendo doesn't make great games, because they do. Nintendo first party is some of the best in the game right now. If you were to make a top 10 list of the best video games of all time, you're granted to find at least 2 to 3 of them were Nintendo games from different generations, so it's not just a nostalgia thing. However, while it's all well and good that they make great games, that does not excuse them from the decisions that the upper management has been making and how it affects the gamers, the Wii U, and the industry as a whole. So a lot of the things that I've said in my rants about Nintendo in the past have been because I care about a company that was on the top of their game for such a long time and has been on a slow downward decline since then. The Wii U was supposed to be the system that changed everything in the game. It was supposed to be the system that appealed to the casuals and the core gamer. But what happened? The system is almost 3 years old and it hasn't even made an impact. It hasn't. Sure, it's got great games, don't get me wrong. Some of the best games that are out this generation are on the Wii U. Like Bayonetta 2. Like Smash Bros. We get it. Every Nintendo console has great games, but that doesn't excuse the console for really not living up to what it was supposed to be. You guys remember how this was supposed to be the system that was the jack of all trades. It was supposed to have the quality third-party support, quality first-party support, a robust online interface, and what did you get? You got zero to no third-party support, which is another topic entirely I've discussed at length. You have the first-party games that are released 4 to 6 months apart from one another. And then you have a system that is so gimped compared to last generation with the Xbox 360, a system that launched in 2005 had more features than the Wii U does 3 years into its life. And this isn't a video to necessarily bash the Wii U for the things it doesn't have, because I know a lot of people like to say they could put them in at some point. But it paints a bigger picture about Nintendo as a whole and what their priorities are. When you see them prioritizing Amiibo and all that stuff, and you've seen the controversy surrounding it being in shortages and stuff, as opposed to fixing things for the Wii U, things that the gamers have been more, focused on for a while, saying, hey, you need to do this, this, and this because we want to get a better experience. There's something going on in the management that's a problem. Games just aren't everything. Sure, you can enjoy the games, but wouldn't you want the best experience possible? Wouldn't you want quality games all the time and not just at the end of the year when most of the Nintendo games come out? I mean, look at it like this. You look at the launch of the Wii U, there's been consistent droughts from its release up until now. And I'm not talking like 1 to 2 months, I'm talking 4+ month droughts. And it'd be fine if they had other games to fill the void, but they don't. Most of their teams working on 3DS titles, and there's no third-party support to, fill the void. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, what I expect Nintendo to do at this year's E3 is just do more of the same of what they've been doing. I don't really expect them to drop any bombshells, to say the least. I know everyone likes to say, yeah, they're going to come here and talk about, Metroid and Star Fox and, all these games that we want. But more often than not, guys, they really don't. I mean, I love Metroid as much as the next guy. I love Star Fox. But first off, you shouldn't get too excited about something that might not happen. And second, even if it does happen, look at the amount of emphasis Nintendo's going to put on those games as opposed to their other titles that make them more money. You look at something like Splatoon. That was a new IP, the first new IP in a while for Nintendo. And you see how gimped that game was. So when that game doesn't sell for whatever reason, Nintendo's going to blame that on the fact that the community is so divided. You know, we wanted new IPs that you don't support it, and just a whole bunch of, just a lot of things. It's deeper than people expect. But I expect them to just come out here and talk about more of the same. One thing I do like Nintendo, what they're doing as far as like the online approach goes, the one thing they do right is post-game content, downloadable content. Their downloadable content is pretty good. Like, I don't think anyone's denying that. You know, like stuff going on with Smash Bros. And keeping that game updated, and you know, the DLC for Hyrule Warriors and Mario Kart, that stuff is pretty good. There's definitely value attached to it. You know, it adds longevity to the games after their release. But all that comes in the form of you having to pay for it. So what about the other things that they need to fix? You know, it's all well and dandy. They do things right when you have to pay for it. But when you want to get the things fixed that need to be fixed, it just doesn't. And that's, you know, something that I don't think we're ever going to see addressed. I don't think they're actually going to wake up and smell the coffee with these things. So, you know, expect to see what we've expected for a while. We're going to get 3DS games. We're going to get Wii U games. What kind of games we're going to get, I don't know, because I'm not here to speculate what franchises are going to make an appearance. Like, oh yeah, we're going to see this, that, and the third. But what I will say is what we're not going to see is we're not going to see the next Nintendo console. At least I don't think anyway. A couple of months back, Nintendo announced a collaboration with a mobile video game developer, and a lot of people were like, oh my god, this is the end of Nintendo, they're going mobile. And then they said quickly, no, we got a new console coming out. And this is what prompted a lot of people to say that Nintendo is going to rush their new system to the market, considering the situation of the Wii U. Now, that might sound reasonable and logical. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Nintendo is even that dumb to rush a new system out of the market just because their current one is doing horrible, to say the least. You can't deny that. The next console, I don't think they're really going to talk at length until next year. Whether it launches in fall 2016 or 2017 is beyond me, but I don't think they're going to focus on it at this year's event. They still have to get some life out of the Wii U. They still got to put some games on the system because it needs support. It seriously does need support, and Nintendo is obliged to give you the games, especially considering you bought this console and there's nothing else on it except Nintendo games. So I don't think they're going to announce anything related to their new console. It's just too soon, and they have too much going on. I mean, they just launched a new 3DS. They have the Wii U, and now with this mobile game partnership, we might hear them talk about that and see what kind of things are going to appear on the mobile handhelds. I don't think they're going to bring like full-fledged like Mario games onto the system. I think they're just going to license out the Mario name and, you know, some other things so they can make spin-offs, and then it's like, think of it like an advertisement for what the franchise is. Sure, you're not going to be playing like the quality 3D Mario experiences that you see on the handhelds and on the consoles, but you're going to be getting an interesting Mario Light experience and say, hey, you know, if you want to play this game, then go buy the Nintendo licensed products. But yeah, that's basically it as far as Nintendo goes. I mean, I don't really have much to look forward to. I mean, they're just going to come out here, they're going to announce a game or two that we're going to like, and that's basically it. They're not really going to address any of the problems that people are having. And if they do, it's going to be the one thing that everybody blows up and says this is why they're awesome. Like last year's event. Last year's E3 for Nintendo was really bad, to say the least. I mean, of course, Smash Bros. Was a highlight. But when people are focusing more on the Robot Chicken parody as opposed to actually getting things for the systems, come on, guys. Priorities, priorities, priorities. It was an awesome sketch, but come on, guys. I don't need to see Reggie and Iwata duking it out freaking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure style. Like, that's cool for the presentation, but that's not gonna mean that the systems aren't any more dust collectors than they are now. Come on, guys, let's be a bit more constructive here, you know? Hold these companies accountable. They don't, like, you don't owe them anything. They owe you. They're creating experiences for you, not the other way around. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comment section. I'm a GS signing out. Probably going to get a lot of hate from this video, but hey, such is life. You got to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.